This is a muffin recipe that I turn to time and time again because it's really easy to remember the quantities, and it's also a great recipe to freeze. In fact, this particular one is in my newest book called Cook Ahead, which is all about freezer-friendly recipes. So we'll start with the flour, just some plain flour. To this, I like to add some oats. I'm using rolled oats. And we just need a little bit of a lift, so some baking powder. And this is a simple recipe because it's all about adding dry ingredients to one bowl and wet ingredients to the other. So dry ingredients in this one. In this bowl, we're going to add bananas. My bananas are overripe. The darker they are, the sweeter they are too. So it means less sugar needs to be added. And I'll need about 2 or 3 of these bananas that I'm just going to roughly break up. If you have excess overripened bananas, a good little trick is to peel them. You can wrap them individually or place them into a Ziploc bag and have them on standby in the freezer. So you can actually just thaw them out, place them into a bowl, and then make this recipe. So there's no reason to ever throw away a banana because there's so many good uses for it. So that can go in. I will use a fork just to break up these bananas and just mash that so it's quite uniform. So that's the base of our wet ingredients. Okay, to this 1 egg, crack that in there. And some extra virgin olive oil. You could use some grapeseed oil if you like to. That's going to keep these muffins super moist. And give that a whisk. Some milk, and I love the addition of some Greek-style yogurt, so plain yogurt, and for an extra hint of sweetness, the addition of some maple syrup. You could also use honey for this. Just to give it some extra zing, I'm adding some lemon zest. I love the freshness of the lemon zest, but this is totally optional. As long as you get the fundamental base of this recipe, which is the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients and the bananas, everything else is totally adaptable. Last little stir, and then we're going to fold the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. So we'll pour that into the center. Okay. And I'll just use my fork just to slowly bring in the sides, not overworking that flour, and then we'll fold everything together. So we've got a lovely muffin batter. All right, I'm really happy with the way that's looking. It's the perfect consistency. Now I'm making some tiny little bite-sized muffins. Of course, you can make them bigger. They'll just need a little longer in the oven. I'm using an ice cream scoop just to portion this out. It's just much easier to do, but you can of course use a teaspoon. So fill them up so they're almost full. And this is where you can get creative with some extra varieties of fruit. So you can chop up some strawberries and then sprinkle that over the top. I love the addition of blueberries, particularly leaving them whole. They just look fantastic. So we're just going to dot these on top, and they'll just nestle in as these bake in the oven. How cute is that? So I'll finish filling up these little patty pans, then they go into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Again, if you're going to make the bigger ones, a little longer in the oven. How cute are these bite-sized muffins? Yes, they are a bite-size, but that's the whole point. Add a few of these to the kids' lunchbox. They will love you for it. And even if you just need a little afternoon pick-me-up with your cup of tea, you don't want to overindulge, 1, 2, or maybe 3 of these would be absolutely delicious. Now, I included this in my book, which has a whole section on baby and toddler food, and I added it to that section because my little one absolutely loves these. In fact, he loves them so much, I placed them into the freezer, cooked as is in a Ziploc bag, and they just take moments to thaw when you bring them back to room temperature. Little muffins, a treat for the whole family.